Today we are going to learn a new lesson, chapter 10. Chapter 10, winds, storms and cyclones. Winds, storms and cyclones. All of us already learned the words winds, storms and cyclones. So we are familiar with these words, winds, storms and cyclones. Okay. So in our present scenario, cyclones, storms, etc. are affected by our country or all over the world. Okay. So let's learn about winds, storms and cyclones. Okay. Do you know what is winds? What is wind? We know that. How we can feel the wind? If a wind has, it's a structure or smell or etc. like that. No, the wind has no shape, smell or size etc. So what do you mean by wind? A wind is the natural motion of air. Natural motion of air. What do you mean by wind? What do you mean by wind? Wind means the natural motion of air. Wind means the natural motion of air is called wind. What do you mean by wind? Wind means the natural motion of air. That is called wind. We know about air. We know that the air is one of the important factors for the all living organisms in the present on the earth. We cannot live without air because we breathe what? Air. We breathe air for our survival, for our survival. Okay. Next, do you know how we know that the winds, with the rate of winds? So we know that the wind strength is increased. The storms are formed. So how we can know that some winds, the speed of wind is increased? So we use an instrument. We use an instrument to measure the wind speed. To measure the wind speed, that is called anemometer. The device used to measure the speed of wind is called anemometer. The device used to measure the speed of wind. That is anemometer. All of you understood what is wind? The natural motion of air is called wind. So how can we measure the speed of wind? Yes, we use an instrument to measure the speed of wind. That is called anemometer. So the anemometer takes the speed measure the speed of the wind. In this way we can identify the wind speed is increased, so it causes many damages to the earth. And the living beings. Living beings means the human beings. So we know that the wind can cause many damages to buildings, houses, etc. and even human life of humans. Okay. So in this lesson we discussed about winds, storms and cyclones. What do you mean by wind? Wind means the natural motion of air. The natural motion of air is called wind. How can we measure the speed of wind? We can use an instrument to measure the speed of wind. That is called anemometer. Okay. Do you know the air can exert pressure? So the air exerts pressure. So we know that around us we can feel the air. Some air, but amount of air is abundant around us, in our surroundings. Okay. So plenty of air is present around us. present around us. So this air exerts some pressures. This air exerts some pressure. So for example, if we can say that if we a tin can, we take a can, then filled with water, heat the water, then if we put some boiled water into a plastic tin or can, what happened? Then tie the bottle with its lid or its cap. What happened? We know that the shape of the bottle is changed. The shape of the bottle is changed. The shape of the bottle, we can see that it is compressed. Why it happens? We know that some pressure is inside the bottle, so it exerts some pressure. The air exerts some pressure. Due to this, the bottle becomes compressed. Then what is the activity we can through which activity we can understand the air exerts pressure? First of all, we take a can. It is made up of a plastic. So then heat the water. Then what happens? If we put some heat water into a plastic bottle? After fill the bottle with the heat water, then we close the bottle with its cap or lid. What happened? We know that the bottle shape is changed. The bottle is going to compress. If we pour some cool water on the surface of the bottle, what happened? It gets compressed. How it gets compressed? The air inside the bottle exerts some pressure. So through these experiments we can understand the air exerts pressure. In your textbook, page number 81, can with the hot water being cooled. What happened? Yes, we know that the bottle gets compressed. Why the bottle gets compressed? How this happened? We know that as the water is poured, if we put some cooled water on the surface of the can, then we know that some steam is coming from the can, because the can condenses into water, then reducing the amount of air inside. The pressure of air inside the can decreases than the pressure exerted by the air from outside the can. As a result, the can gets compressed. All of you understood what happened about the can? All of you listen. If we pour, first of all, we take some hot water into the can. What happens if we close the cans with the cap? What happened? Then we pour some cool water on the surface of the bottle. What happened? The bottle gets compressed. How this happened? We know that if we pour some cool water on the surface of the hot water bottle, then the air inside the bottle gets we know that some steam present the hot water bottle condenses into water and reducing the amount of air inside. So the pressure of air inside the can decreases. So the cool air reduces the amount of air inside the bottle, and also it reduces the pressure of air inside the bottle than the pressure exerted by the air outside the can. As a result, the bottle gets compressed. Due to this, the bottle gets compressed. All of you understood? So from this activity, we can arrive an inference that the air exerts pressure. Air exerts pressure. Air exerts pressure. All of you listen. Here the first activity tells us about, first of all we take a bottle. We take a bottle. Then what happens? Then we take some hot water. We take some hot water into the bottle. Then after taking hot water into the bottle, we close the bottle with a cap, with a lid, with a cap or lid. Then at that time what happens? Then pour some cold water on the surface of the bottle or can. Cold water. What happens? Then the bottle is changed, gets compressed. The bottle gets compressed. We know that the bottle gets compressed. The bottle gets compressed. Why this happened? The bottle gets compressed. So we know that if we take hot water into the bottle, then we pour some cold water on the surface of the bottle. Due to this, the steam in the can, the steam present inside the can condenses the water, condenses into what? The steam condenses into, we know that the steam condenses into water. The steam condenses into water. So it reduces the amount of air. We know that if we heat the water, first of all, we heat the water. What happens? We know that the water is changed into, the water state, the liquid is changed into gas. The liquid is changed into gas. If we close the gas, if we close the vessel with a lid, what happens? We know that the gas is touch the lid or touch the cap. Then what happens? Then it condenses and it condenses into what? Water. Again water. So if we pour some cold water in the surface of the or on the surface of the bottle, what happens? The steam inside the bottle or inside the can gets condenses and reducing the amount of air. So we know that at that time, if the air is increased, so due to this, if the air inside the bottle is increased, due to this the bottle is going to change its shape. So if we condenses the steam into what? Water. Yes, here the steam gets condenses and changed into water. So in the air present inside the can, amount of air inside the can reduces, and also the pressure inside the can decreases than the air outside the what? Can. So we can due to this the bottle gets compressed. We know that if we take some cold water into a can, then close the can, then after some time what happens? Air inside the bottle is increased. The air inside the bottle is increased if we condense, what happens? The air inside the bottle is decreased than the air outside the bottle. So due to this, the bottle gets compressed. From this activity or from this experiments, we can arrive on inference or conclusion that the air exerts pressure. So the air inside the bottle exerts some pressure. Due to this, the bottle is changed. The bottle is compressed. The bottle gets or the can gets compressed. Okay. Next activity is given for understanding about the air exerts pressure. Here in your textbook, blowing into the bottle. Another activity is given for but to prove air exerts pressure. Here a man is taking an empty bottle. Then what? he take a paper and fold the bottle into a ball, small ball shape. Then what he do? Then he put the paper ball into the mouth of inside the mouth of the bottle. Then he blow the paper inside the bottle through blowing air into the bottle. What happens? We know that the paper is not easily going into inside the bottle. What happened? We know that the air inside the bottle exerts some pressure to the paper board, so it does not go easily into the bottle. So from this activity also we can say that the air exerts pressure. The air exerts pressure. Okay. So here in your textbook that is given. A boy is take a empty bottle, then he make a paper ball, then he put the paper ball just inside the mouth of the bottle, then he blow air into the bottle. What happens? What happened? Yes, the paper does not go inside the bottle easily. Why? Why this could happen? If the pressure of the air what happened? When we blow into the mouth of the air bottle, the air near the mouth has higher speed. We know that if we blow air inside the bottle, what happens? The air from our mouth is in the high speed. The air from our mouth is high speed. So then this decreases the pressure there. This decreases the pressure inside the bottle, and also the pressure inside the bottle is higher than near the mouth. Higher than near the mouth. So the air inside the bottle pushes the ball out. Pushes the ball out. So what happened to the ball? So we know that if we take an empty bottle, then take a paper ball, take a small paper ball, then put the paper ball inside just near the mouth of the bottle, then hold the bottle near our mouth, then we blow the air into the mouth of the bottle. What happens? We know that the air from our mouth is in the high speed, so the air from our mouth is flowing inside the bottle. It is very high, so it is very high pressure, so the air exerts high pressure, and also the air from inside the bottle is very higher than the air near the mouth. So the air inside the bottle exerts some pressure into the balls, and also the pressure inside the bottle pulls out the paper ball. From this activity also we can say that the air exerts some pressure. Okay, all of you understood the activity? So through this activity we can prove that the air exerts what? Pressure. Next is blow the balloons. Another activity is given for understanding air exerts pressure. Understanding air exerts pressure. Here a boy is taken two balloons. Then fill the balloons with water. And tie the mouth of the balloon with a rope. Then tie the two balloons in a metal stick. We can see that two balloons is taken. Then fill the two balloons with the water. Then tie the balloon in a metal stick. Then what happened? Then what did he do? He blew up both the balloons and tie each one to a string. Hang the balloons 8 to 10 cm apart. The distance between the two balloons is 8 to 10 centimeter. So it is tied between from here to here. It is 8 to 10 centimeter. At least 8 to 10 centimeter distance. We tie the two balloons filled with the water. Then what happens? Then blow in the space between the balloons. Then we blow air. In between the two balloons. In between the two balloons. What happens? Then we know that what happens? Yes, the pressure of air between the balloons were somehow reduced. The pressure of the air between the balloons reduced, and the pressure outside the balloons then pushed them towards each other. So all of you listen here. First of all, this is also an activity to prove that air exerts pressure. Here, what we have to do? Yes, we take two balloons, then fill the two balloons with the water, then take a metal stick, then tie the two balloons into the metal stick. Then two balloons is tied in between 8 to 10 centimeter distance. Then what we do? Yes, we blow air in between the two space of the balloon. Yes, we know that the air or the pressure pressure present in between the two balloons is reduced or decreased. There is no pressure in between the two. The low pressure in the space between the two balloons. Then if we blow air into the space between two balloons, what happens? We know that the air outside the balloon, what increased? The air outside the balloon increased. So if we blow air in here, what happens? So the increased air present outside the balloons exerts a push in between the two balloons, so the balloons move from one side to other side, so it moves from each other. Okay, so from this activity we can prove that air exerts pressure. Once again, all of you listen. For proving air exerts pressure, we do an activity, that is, first of all we take two balloons filled with water, then tie the two balloons in between 8 to 10 centimeter distance. Then what we do? Yes, we blow air in between the space present in the two balloons. We know that the pressure between the two balloons is reduced, and so the pressure or the air present outside the two balloon is high. So the high pressure gives a push to the two balloons. So the balloons moves from this balloon moves to this side, this balloon moves to this side. So the two balloons moves to each other. So from this activity also we can say that the air exerts what? Pressure. Okay, all of you understood? Then another activity is given. Can you blow and lift? Can you blow and lift? We know that here hold a strip of paper 20 cm long and 3 cm wide between your thumb and forefinger as shown here. Here a paper strip, the boy is taken a paper strip. Here the boy is taken a paper strip, then he blow the paper strip. What happened to the paper strip? Yes, it become, what happened? Then the paper strip become lift. Okay, so why this happens? Because the air exerts pressure. Due to air exerts pressure. So here it happen if blowing over the paper reduced the air pressure above the strips. So the paper strips moves upward direction. The paper strips moves upward directions. Okay. So from this activity we know that if we blow the paper strip, what happens? The pressure inside the paper strip is reduced and the pressure outside the paper strip is high. So the high pressure pushes or lift the paper strips or lift the paper strip in upward direction. From this activity also we can analyze that the air exerts pressure. Air exerts pressure. Okay, all of you understood? Yes. Then we know we can, from this activity we can arrive an inference or conclusion that the increased wind speed or air speed is accompanied by reduced air pressure. Increased wind speed can reduce the air pressure. We know that air exerts some pressure. So if the wind speed, the natural flow of air is increased, so it can be reduced. It can reduce the air pressure. So due to this, the air exerts some pressure. So due to this, the storms, cyclones, etc., thunderstorms, etc., are occurred in our earth. So this wind, if the wind speed is increased, the wind speed can reduce the air pressure. So the wind can move to everywhere. Wind can move to everywhere, and they destroy many buildings, many houses, etc. Okay. So another activity is given in your textbook, the shape of the balloon in hot and cold water. Next we learn about air expansion on heating. Air can expand and air can compress. So first of all we learn about air expands on heating. Air expands on heating. For finding this, how the air expands on heating. Here, how air expands on heating. Here we take an activity. Take a boiling tube. Then take a boiling tube and stretch a balloon tightly. Stretch a balloon tightly over the neck of the tube. Then we can use a tape to make it tight. Then pour some hot water in a beaker. Then insert the boiling tube inside the hot water containing beaker. Then what happens? Observe for 2 to 3 minutes. Then for what happens? We can observe that the shape of the balloon is changed. Then take the tube outside. Then we cool down the boiling tube. Then to the room temperature. Then take some cold water in another beaker and place the place the boiling tube with the balloon in the cold water for 2 to 3 minutes. After 2 to 3 minutes, we can observe that the shape of the balloon is the change in the shape of the balloon. So what happened to these two experiments for finding air expands on heating? First of all, we take a boiling tube, then take a balloon, then tie the balloon at the mouth of the boiling tube, and then we take a beaker. Then it contains hot water. Then put the boiling tube with the balloon inside the hot water containing beaker. Then keep it aside for 2 to 3 minutes. After 2 to 3 minutes, what happens? We can observe that the balloon is expand. The balloon is what happened? The balloon gets inflated or it gets expand inside the beaker. Then take the boiling tube and cool down it in the room temperature. Then after cool down the boiling tube, we take a beaker containing cold water. Beaker containing cold water. Then put the boiling tube inside the cold water containing beaker. What happens? The shape of the balloon is not changed. The shape of the balloon is not changed. We can, after 2 to 3 minutes, we can observe that the shape of the balloon is not changed. It remains its original shape. From this, we can say that on hot water, the balloon expands. What happens? The air inside the balloon, due to heating, the air inside the balloons gets expanded. So, due to this, the balloon inflated or expands. So, in cold water, the air inside the balloon is not expanded. So, it remains in the original shape. From this activity, we can analyze that we can arrive a conclusion that air moves from the region where the air pressure is high to the region where the pressure is low. And also we can analyze that the air expands on heating. From this activity we can say that the air expands on what? Heating. Yes, okay, all of you understood about the air expands on heating. Yes, we can say that the air expands on heating. Then in cool air, the air gets in a cool atmospheric, the air not gets what? Expands. Air gets not expands. It remains its original position. Okay. Air expands and it gets its original position. Okay, students. Next, we know that air expands on heating. Air can expand on heating. So the air is more it expands on heating. It does not expands on cooling. So, and also we learned that the wind speed is increased, the pressure, it reduced the air pressure. If the wind speed is increased, it reduced the air pressure. Then we know that what is wind? The natural motion of air is called wind. Then how the wind and pressure difference is taken place. So we know that increased wind speed reduced the air pressure, and also the air moves from a region of high pressure. The air moves from the region where the high air pressure is high to the region where the air pressure is low. So that is the peculiarity of the air, movement of air. So first one is air can move from the speed of wind is the increased speed of wind can reduce the air pressure, and also the air moves from the region of high air pressure to the region of low air pressure, to the region of low air pressure region. Okay, so how then that's the rain is formed. We know that how the rain is formed. Yes, we know that during and daytime the sea breeze is occurred. How the sea breeze is occurred? We know that the land gets more heated. Land gets more heated during daytime. So the air above the land is hot. The air above the land is hot. We know that due to heat, the air gets expanded. So the hot air is expanded everywhere on the land. So at that time, the air above the sea is where cool air is present above the sea. So the cool air has low pressure. So it high pressure, and so it what happened? Not low pressure. So the cool air is have low pressure, and the high pressure present in the land surface, hot air. So that air is rushes into the place of sea, and the cool air from the sea blows towards the land. So due to this, sea breeze is occurring, and also the rain is also caused due to this. Next, an activity is given for finding what the warm air is lighter than the cool air. About the warm air is cooler than the lighter area. How can we prove the warm air is cooler than the light air? How can we prove the warm air is cooler than the light air? Warm air is lighter than the cool air. Warm air is lighter than the cool air. Warm air is lighter than the cool air. So due to this, the sea breeze occurs. Sorry students, here we says about the sea breeze. That is, we know that during daytime the land gets heated more. So the air above the land is heated, and the air expands due to heating. The air present above the land gets heated and expands. So then the air present on the surface of the sea is cooler air. So the cooler air, what happens? The cooler air rushes into the space of hot air. So due to this, what sea breeze is occurring. So here we can say that how warm air is lighter than the cool air. For understanding this, we can say that on heating air expands. On heating air expands and rises up. On heating air expands and rises up. Since it expands, it takes up more space and becomes lighter. How the warm air is become lighter? Because on heating air expands. On heating, what happens to air? On heating, what happens to air? Air expands. On heating, what happens to air? Air expands and rises up. Air expands and rises up. On heating air expands and rises up, and it takes more space. Rises up and due to expansion, it takes more space. It takes more space, and also and becomes lighter due to the property of warm air. The warm air becomes lighter. Due to this, the warm air rises up. Okay, all of you understood about warm air is lighter. How the warm air lighter? Because on heating, the air expands. And it rises up and takes more space, and therefore we can say that it is lighter. Due to this, we know that if we burn something, burn something, what happens? The air, the gas coming from the that is goes upward, goes upward. That is the reason for smoke goes up. That is the reason for smoke goes up. Smoke goes up. Warm air is lighter. Due to this smoke goes up. Okay, smoke goes up. Then we can here an activity is given. Take 2 paper bags or empty paper cups. 2 paper bags. Then of the same size. Then hang the 2 bags in the inverted position on the two ends of inverted position on the 2 ends of a metal or wooden stick. Then tie the piece of thread in the middle of the stick. Then hold the stick by the thread. Then put a burning candle below one of the bag as shown. Then what happens? The balance of the bags gets disturbed. Yes, the balance of the bag gets disturbed if the candle presented, the burning candle presented bag goes upward. What happens? The smoke from the smoke coming from the candle exerts a pressure. Due to this, the smoke goes up, and the pressure from the smoke pushes the paper bags. Here we can see that 2 paper bags. Then they tie the 2 paper bags in a metal or wooden stick. Then we light a candle on the one of the paper bags. What happens? Here we can see that the 1 paper cups or paper bags moves upward because the warm air expands and takes more space, and it is lighter. It moves the paper bags upward. So from this we can say that the warm air is lighter than the cold air. Here we can see that in these paper bags the air present in this paper bag is cool air, so it does not get expands and takes more spaces. So in here we can say that it is the heat air, warm air, so it expands and takes more space. Okay, from this activity we can analyze that the warm air is lighter than the cool air. Okay, all of you understood? Then all of you read your text. Then let's wind up the class. Thank you.